What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dummy Tech Talks. Today I'm going to show you how to make an Ethernet cable, Cat5e specifically, and yeah, so
here we go.
Let's get to it. So I'm going to be making a cable and testing it. I'm going to demonstrate what this tester does real quick by using one that I made a long time ago that works fine. I use it actually pretty often for a testing cable. As you can see, it hits every one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inside of these, oh here, actually it'll go even slower, but inside of these Ethernet cables there are 8 cables. Each one has to be set up specifically in order so that they work.
And what kind of device is that, Travis?
Oh, that's just it tests RJ45 cables, which are Ethernet cables, and you can also do phone cables. I've never done that, but I've never made one.
Who has house phone anymore?
Yeah, right? I don't even know what that is.
It's all wireless.
Something else. But anyway, yeah, I guess. Anyway, let's get to it. So here, I've got an already cut Ethernet cable. I actually have a spool of, I've actually bought 2 spools of 500 feet. This is just one that I had around. It's like 10 to 12 feet, something in that range. So it will be usable for something. I'm sure I'll find something out. On the end, I've already cut it. I'll just cut it again just so you can see. It's real simple. If you have the right thing. This is a crimper. I've had it for years, so I won't be putting a link in the description, but it's just RJ45 crimper. It actually does others too, but I've never used them. Anyway, I cut it off. You have all 8 wires there exposed. I'll show you those because I actually have to strip off some cable. For the sake of the video, I'm going to take off more than you would normally take off, at least more than I would normally take off. There are 8 cables in here. There are 4 sets of twisted cables. So over here you have the orange and the orange, or the white with an orange stripe cable. Over here you have green and green with a white stripe, or white with a green stripe rather. And then over here you have blue and white with a blue stripe. And I am separating them because you have to do that. Then the last set is brown and then white with a brown stripe. I'll try to get that around that way without covering it completely. Alright. And a Cat5e. I've never made a Cat6. I'm sure it's similar. I have messed with Cat5 a little bit, but in a Cat5e, you have this little strand of like some kind of material. You can just cut that off. There, gone. Throw that away later. Alright. In order to make an Ethernet cable, all of these cables, all these little wires have to be lined up properly. In order to do that, I'll straighten them all out and get them going. So we're going to start with, on our left side, working left to right, the white cable with an orange stripe. Then next to that, just put the orange cable. Next to that, we're going to use, well, you have to, or at least in this instance, you have to use a white with green stripe, and then you put up the blue cable, and then the blue or white with blue stripe, and then the green, and then white with brown stripe, and then the brown. Simple as that. Now you want to straighten it out as best you can because you will be putting it inside of the actual RJ45 head or plug. Straighten that out a little bit. Alright, and just kind of wiggling back and forth, get it nice and straight. Alright.
Now, what kind of wire is in those?
It's just a solid copper wire going.
It's like, not a braided wire?
No, it's 8 little tiny solid copper wires. I'm sure you can get them where they're not copper, but I don't know why you do that. That sounds like it'd be cheap. But what you do, you come in here, you cut it off. I typically do a little, maybe about 1 centimeter remaining. I'll show you the camera. So, I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but that's what you're left with.
Hold it still.
It's all done. It's all done and everything. I should have left some of that on. I'll do the other side like that. But anyway, they're all nice and straight, ready to go. And we take one of these, which is just the plug. You want to face the contacts toward you, so it's going to look like it's upside down. So the clip is on the bottom with the cable facing out from you like this. You're just going to slide it right on. They're going to fall into the little grooves that this has for it. Push it as far as you can, as hard as you can if you can, if you want to. If you look at the front, you'll see all the little copper contacts going all the way to the end. That is what you want to see, because when you crimp it, it pushes the little contacts on the plug into the wire so that they are now connected. And that should do it on that one. Yeah, it's looking good. And I don't know if you can zoom in on this. I'll hold it steady. You can see how all of them got pushed down from the crimper because
Hold it.
of how it is. And this little spot just above my thumb got pushed in as well. That holds it in place. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and knock out the other side. I'll demonstrate again real quick, and then I'll hook it up to the tester and show you all that it works. Alright, so we just finished the first side. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the second one. I'm going to do this one a little bit quicker with less explanation just to knock it out. And then I'll hook it up to the tester and show you all that it does work. First you got to pull off the exterior. And as you notice, I actually took off a lot less this time because I don't typically take off that much. Usually do just about as much as I need. And you just kind of have to eyeball that. I'm sure there's a way to measure it. I just never really have. And cut those little fibers off. Separate the 4 different colors into what they are, to their own little area. Separate each little wire so that you can use them individually. I know my hands are probably in the way, but you know, it is what it is when you're working with a little little stuff. Alright. And then there's no way. Over here we're going to do white with orange, then orange, and then white with green. Sorry about my dog barking. It's Bailey. She's letting us know she's there. Anyway, after the white with green, then you... Dang it, dog.
That's our doorbell, apparently.
Yeah, basically. She lets us know when people come over. After the white with green, you then go to blue, solid blue, and then you go to white with blue. I know that it's kind of weird how the green is the only one that's not next to its counterpart. After the white with blue, you go to green, and then you do white with brown, and then you do brown. Now this is usually about right. I'm going to end up cutting a little bit off the end, but it should look like that for the most part. So white with orange, orange, white with green, blue, white with blue, green, white with brown, then brown. So that is that. I typically feel around the middle of the pad down there on my thumb, and I can feel the end of the cable, like the rubbery cable finish, and I just use my thumb as a measuring tool to cut off the rest, and that usually gets it right where it needs to be. And again, with this, you hold it upside down where the contacts are facing toward you. All your cables should already be in order, that they are in the correct order. When you slide it on, it just falls perfectly into the little slots that it has. Push it far enough to where you see the cables on the front end down here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but that's okay. It's pretty self-explanatory if you're actually doing it. And then you simply push, make sure you're applying pressure, and then crimp it. And this pushes these little pins up into the contacts, which then pushes them into the 8 little colorful cables. And then goes into it and makes it to where it can make a solid connection. And that's that. Here, I'm going to go ahead and
show you an up close and personal view here, maybe. See, there's the colored pins, and you can see the slots actually that the wires go in. There you go. And it just snaps in. Perfect.
Alright, so we finished both ends. This is one cable, I promise. It's all connected right here. One big 10 to 12 foot cable, somewhere in that range. I didn't actually measure it, I just grabbed it and went with it. I'm going to hook it up to the tester. and I will make sure that it is working properly. 1, 2. Here, let me slow it down. All right, so we'll start from 1, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what this tester does is you can separate it and it still works. You can put one on the end of a really long cable, and this one actually has a battery in it, and it's the one that sends a signal through the cable to this, where this, if it gets a signal from that, it lights up the same little LED as that one. And if nothing happens, for instance if it's unplugged, then you don't get any signal at all, and the little test light here tells you it should be doing something, but it's not. And then you just plug it back in, and it picks up from wherever it thinks it is.
And whichever one out of the 8 is not connected, that light will not show for that position, right?
Correct. Yeah, and I've actually run into that before, and I've had to cut off ends, replace them. Lots of troubleshooting. This is a lifesaver, this whole tester. Again, I've had it for years. It actually came with this crimper, so I don't know where I got it anymore. I can't put a link in the description, but you can Google it. I'm sure you can find one for pretty cheap. Again, this is a Cat5e cable, not Cat6. I believe they're about the same, but there's some things that are a little different. I know the Cat6 has much more, has like a silicone or rubber cross throughout it that gives it really good insulation, so it can hit speeds way higher for a lot longer. So this day and age, you probably want to buy a Cat6. I've had Cat5e lying around, so that is that. Thanks for watching the video. Hope y'all learned something. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more tech stuff.
Subscribe and like it. We will be doing a mystery box, by the way.
Yeah, I got one coming in this week.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, we'll do an unboxing of it.
We won't even look at it.
Who knows what it's gonna? It's supposed to be a gaming something. But
what y'all see is what we're gonna see.
Yeah, it's gonna be
freaking awesome.
I'm excited.
So, bam.
Subscribe if you want to see it.